These are the 5 best things that I've bought in my 20s that have changed my life tremendously. As I'm reaching the scary 30 years old this year, I couldn't help but look back and reflect on the things that have shaped my 20s. These 5 things came from the last 10 years of my life and contain the best lessons and insights that I wish I knew when I was turning 20. Hopefully by the end of this video, you guys will be able to learn my best lessons without making the same mistakes I did and kickstart this year for you. So the very first thing that I bought in my 20s was courses. And what I mean is that you can buy a lot of courses out there, and I bought a couple few this year as well, and maybe in my 20s, but most importantly, I think the ones that have helped to shape it quite a lot is the courses that I put in terms of investment. So investment courses were where I put my money in. It basically helps to kickstart your knowledge and helps you condense all these things. Almost any other course out there you're able to learn on the internet like YouTube and Google, but what makes it different? You may take the whole 10 years or maybe 5 to 10 years, to learn as much as you can. You will probably make a lot of mistakes along the way as well, but when you go for a course, assuming you're going for a good course, you trust the person seems, caring and trustworthy in that sense, you go and pick the right person and then they teach the right course. That's where you get the most amount of knowledge because they're able to condense all the important things into one area, and you're really paying for that time and the expertise that they've really made the mistakes as well. They've also made everything that they think that has worked for them, and they're giving you that foolproof solution in order to make sure that you're able to learn as much as you can and also make the most amount of money from it. So I think one of the courses that I went to was an options course that I went to, which was how to sell options, basically stocks and all those kind of things, and that has helped me to really kickstart my investing journey in that sense. I went for other YouTube courses as well. If you guys have been watching on my channel, I've been taking Ali Abdal's Part-Time YouTuber Academy course as well, and that's also helped to kickstart my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is growing quite nicely, but going back to the options course, that's also one of the main things that I've done, and I think I bought that course for about, I can't quite remember the pricing, but it's around $2,000 to $3,000, but every single month I'm able to use those strategies and maybe earn myself about $500 to $700 every single month, and this is in USD. So if you convert it to Singaporean dollars, it's a lot more, but basically what I was able to do, I was able to earn around $5,000 to $6,000 so far this year just using the course itself. So if you can kind of see, I've more than doubled my money, but more than that is that I'm only using a small amount of money in order to trade or really to sell options. And if I've used a bigger amount of money, just think about how much more I'll be able to earn throughout the rest of my life. It would be a lot, or rather infinite kind of return based on a $2,000 to $3,000 kind of investment cost. So even though upfront you think, wow, $2,000 to $3,000 is a lot of money, but think about the amount that you are able to expedite and the amount that you're able to multiply over the years. Because what happens in 10 years time, if I'm able to trade or sell options at 10x the amount of money that I have right now, wouldn't I be earning $5,000 to $6,000 every single month in order to help me with my retirement and stuff like that? So you guys have to kind of think far and really think about what these things mean to you in the long term, instead of always looking in the short term. Oh, $2,000 to $3,000 doesn't matter, just go for it, get something that's good, educate yourself, basically invest in yourself, invest in this knowledge, and really help to really shorten that time frame as well. Because if you learn it by yourself, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're also going to take a very long time. This is basically getting someone to mentor you and mentor you at a very cheap price that they have really spent a lot of their time and effort in order to condense these things and make sure that you are well educated on it. Basically, you want to think about how this course can help you, and also think about how it can progress you in your life as well. Find a course that really interests you. So for me, a lot of things I do on my channel especially is like finance related, side hustles, personal finance, all these kind of things. So I went for a course that interests me in terms of helping me to earn money, helping me to get better control of my finances. So something that interests me is good, something that helps me to make progress so I'm satisfied emotionally, and basically sort of helping me to gain more progress in terms of the goals that I wanted to make in my life. Those were the things that were in line with what I wanted, so I was glad to pay the money in order to learn as much as I could and invest in yourself and your knowledge in that sense. Speaking on the topic of wanting to learn and invest in knowledge as well, the second thing that I invested in heavily in my 20s was books. And it's the same thing as courses, is that you want to increase your knowledge that you can have as much as you can about as many things as possible. The things that I'm currently interested in is self-development, finance, and business books. I'm a big fan of Gary Vee. I buy all his books, or rather most of his most recent books in that sense. The ones who are a little bit older, I don't buy them as much, but I'm reading the ones that are basically whatever books that he has produced in the last 2-3 years. I definitely bought all of them. It's really nice because you can have that flow of thought where I can almost embody what Gary Vee is going to think about and what will Gary Vee do. So I really kind of have him mentor me by the side invisibly through his books in that sense, and it's really very nice because I can't say it's totally free because I bought the book itself, but $20 to $30 to hire a CEO who has maybe like billions of dollars, millions of dollars under his portfolio and everything like that wouldn't be too bad for choice, right? You're able to sort of leverage the things, the lessons that he has learned and the things that he has, his expertise in business, in finances and all those kind of things. He's basically teaching me how to do social media, YouTube, all these kind of things, all through his videos, and I'm very thankful for that. And if you guys are interested in books, you really should go towards that direction, because everybody learns different ways. Maybe you learn through podcasts, through listening, through audio, you learn through looking, which means you learn through reading in that sense. You might also learn through watching videos in that sense, so that's why you guys are watching my videos as well. But those are some of the avenues that you can really go into in order to sort of expand your knowledge in that sense. I think the books are very, very important because it changes the way you think, it changes the way you do things as well, and there's so many tips and strategies for you to act on. One book that I would highly recommend that I read this year itself that changed my life was Amy Porterfield's book. It's called The 2 Weeks Notice. So from what it kind of sounds like, you kind of know that it basically means putting your 2-week notice in order to quit your job in that sense. I haven't quit my job, don't get me wrong, but basically it's trying to put yourself into a state of mind and basically producing a plan to allow yourself to really quit your job. Or, listen to me, is to give you options in order to have something on top of your job, which means in short, just having a side hustle on top of your job in that sense. And you have to do it while you have your job and prepare to use it to overtake your job, so that hopefully in the future you have more freedom, you have more money, you're able to have more options to do whatever that you want to do in that sense. I think the two things that I learned from her was that number one is not to compare myself with others. I used to always compare myself with others, and I used to have this, I wouldn't say an inferiority complex, but I always thought like somebody would probably do things a lot better than me, or somebody has a lot more expertise than me, so why would people come to me in the first place? Okay, I guess you can call that inferiority complex, but yeah, it is what it is. But I think after reading the book, it was able to really open my eyes a little bit and really tell myself that I am the unique individual that I am, because nobody can have this permutation of the experience that I have, the habits that I have, the things that I talk about, and the way I would present it in the style that I present it. So I'm a perfectly unique individual, just like what Gary Vee kind of says, surprisingly, which is your life is your niche in that sense, where you are your own creative, and the things in your life are so special that even though you don't feel there is anything interesting or special, someone else might find it interesting and special, so you should share it anyway, right? Just tell the world about who you are, how you're doing things, and just go about doing it. So I think you guys should really be reading the book if you're interested in areas of like self-development, in terms of productivity, finance, business books, all those kind of things in order to further your knowledge. And it's something that somebody has spent like 40 to 50 years, for those who are older, maybe 20 to 30 years for those that are younger, they have condensed all their experience into this small little book that you can consume in about, maybe a week or so, and you're able to take all the lessons that they have and really apply it to your life. I'm sure it will do very, very big wonders, especially for the finance books. You'll be able to have tips and tricks in order to earn more money, at the same time save more money, or maybe invest your money in better ways in that sense. The third one, which is super important, would be side hustles. So I think I'm technically not buying a side hustle, but one of the things that I brought in was to buy external help for my side hustles, and that is for my YouTube, which is my side hustle in that sense. But what I did was that I outsourced the things that I wasn't that great at and didn't enjoy it as much. So there are two things that I outsourced. One would be my editing, so this is my edited video that my editors have kind of done. Second thing that I did would be thumbnail editing as well, thumbnail designs and stuff like that. That wasn't something that I really was very, very good at, but if I outsourced it, I realized that my views, subscriber counts and everything like that has 10x since then. And this is something that I think I personally investing, or rather purchasing and buying through my own money in that sense. My whole YouTube channel, it costs like almost $1,000 to keep it running every single month, which is just releasing one long form video every single week. It's in that sense because I want it to be of a good quality. I want it to help you guys and make sure that you guys are benefiting from it in that sense. So these are two things that I've done in order to outsource these two main things in my YouTube channel. And you probably want to ask yourself, like, why would you want to start a side hustle in that sense? For me, it was for extra money, it was for interest, and it was passion as well. Basically, I wanted something that I could control, something that I can do in that sense. So now is my off day. Today is Monday, today is my off day, it's the new year as well. I'm able to do this in my living room. This is my closet behind me. I'm doing this in my living room and I have full control of it. Nobody can tell me what to do with this side hustle in that sense. I want to do everything I want to do in this channel. Anything I want to do, nobody can tell me what I want to do. So that's the best thing in that sense. And I think most importantly is that a year ago, I was very, very into my work, which was physiotherapy. And it's not a bad thing, but I realized that even when I came back home, I didn't have something that I could take my mind off things. I didn't have something that I could really do as a hobby or side hustle in that sense. And my mind was just preoccupied with work work all the time, which made my quality of life really, really bad. So investing in this side hustle really produced something new for me to really chase, and also opens up avenues for me in my YouTube channel. It's not just a side hustle to earn money, but it's an avenue for me to try new things and experience life on a whole new level. Because I think I don't have a lot of passions and interests because I haven't tried enough things, and my YouTube channel is my way of telling myself that it's okay, I don't know what I want to do now, but I'm going to use this YouTube channel in order to pursue and explore things that might particularly interest me. So right now, finance, side hustles, personal development, these are the things that interest me, so I'm going to go towards that direction, do projects, do small little things here and there, and enjoy myself with this side hustle in that sense. So I think if you guys want to start a side hustle, I've started several ones on my YouTube channel. One, if you want to learn how to start a YouTube channel in that sense, you can watch my YouTube channel kind of videos, or you can sign up for Ali Abdal's Part-Time YouTuber Academy course. If you want to do another side hustle like selling customized G-Shock watches, that's also something that I do. You can check out my other G-Shock videos as well. And number 4 would be, very importantly, is to buy into assets. So for assets, I think for everybody who has read the very, very popular book Rich Dad Poor Dad, assets are basically things that produce income for you. So some of these things for myself is stocks, options, and bonds in that sense, and things that produce money for me, which is I put money in and every single month they bring me consistent income. These are some things that I have, and my plan is very, very simple. As I'm growing older, I want to have 2 portfolios that really grow with me as well. Number 1 portfolio is what I call the growth portfolio. With the growth portfolio, it basically doesn't provide monthly income for me, but it provides steady growth. So I invest in the S&P 500, so it's just a simple index fund where I put my money in and you experience about 7 to 10% growth every single year. I let it compound, and slowly as it builds towards my older age, I can withdraw that money slowly, and that money will never run out as long as I don't touch my principal account. So that's pretty nice. The second portfolio is my dividend portfolio. So it's something that I'm building as well. I think I built it to around $30,000 to $40,000 Sing dollar in Singapore on Singapore stocks. And what happens is that this is the one that produces income for me every single month. In a sense, it gives me dividends about twice a year. So if you just divide, it gives you sort of monthly income. It's not a lot right now. I think it's about $100-ish every single month, but it's basically letting your money work for you and not you working for your money all the time in that sense. So basically converting your active income into a passive income, and having assets that can do that for you is very, very important, because basically step out of just working for your money, but letting your money work for you as well, which is super important, I think. And my plan is to make sure that the whole foundation is strong, and by the time I reach my 40s or my 50s, I'll have around 500,000 inside these investment portfolios, which will produce me around 4 to 5k every single month, which is going to be a very decent living on top of everything else that I might have. I'll probably still be working, but most importantly, I want to make sure that I have all these things in place as well. So these are something that I must urge you guys, you must start this early. Definitely have something in it for yourself. Start early, start young, let the time do it for you. Don't go for those kind of small little profits very, very early. Go for the long run, go for the big money. If you have time, compound interest is in your interest in that sense. So just let compound interest work for you. Make sure you're investing bit by bit, even though it's very little, bit by bit every single month, making sure that you have consistent income and making sure that you have this portfolio growing for you all the way into your late 50s, 60s, 70s in that sense. And last but not least, point number 5 would be to invest in my own health. So one of the things I think I neglected a little bit last year was that I didn't eat enough, I didn't eat healthy enough, and I didn't exercise enough, and that's caused me to become a little bit more anxious, a little bit more out of shape and things like that. So the one thing you can do in terms of cooking and eating a bit more healthy is to cook your own food in that sense. And that is one option, and I realized that I tried it before and I hated it and I wanted to quit immediately. So one of the things I was doing is pre-packed meals that have your calorie needs and also hits your protein needs in that sense. So I usually buy from this website either called Yummy Bros or Nutrify SG. So these are one of the 2 websites that can kind of produce and pre-pack these meals for you that are actually quite tasty actually. I actually prefer the one on Nutrify, but it's a little bit more pricey. So you have to pay a little bit more for healthier food, but basically you can make sure that you get the calories that you need and get the nutrients that you need in that sense. It helps to meet my protein needs and also helps to reduce my calories. All in all, it makes me a little bit healthier, a bit happier eating as well. I won't feel so guilty if I eat something, you know, like drinking bubble tea or eating something that's a little bit more sinful, because I know that on the other hand, I'm actually controlling my calories as well. So the way I do is I control my calories for lunch so that when I go for dinner, I can splurge and eat whatever I want. And I've actually lost 3 kg in the last 2 months, which is, you know, super amazing as well. And I think basically you also want to invest time into exercising as well, because for me, it helps me to become a little bit more productive. It helps my mood as well, and to make sure that, you know, I'm always feeling good and having all this, I don't want to use chim words, but endorphins in your head in that sense. But most importantly, I think what you can do today, if you don't know what to do, is really to start doing a little bit of exercise. As simple as 30 minutes of walking. Just go out there, put on your shoes, just start walking today and make sure that you are able to move and really working out a little bit more, just to get yourself sweating, get yourself to a workout, and you probably thank yourself in a couple of years time in that sense. If you enjoyed this video, then you probably enjoyed this video right here where I talk about how I made 5 different income sources that made me more than $10,000 every single month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye!